Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my first impressions look on the Anta KT8. So this shoe is going for 160 bucks. So if you guys do want to cop, I'll try to leave a link in the description box. Of course, this is Klay Thompson's 8th signature shoe with Anta. Holy crap, it's been a while. I mean, he has 8 signature shoes, that's kind of crazy. But of course, the Klay Thompson line has been super solid, and Anta's been awesome. You know, they've been giving us very good performing shoes with great tech for a great price. 160 bucks. I mean, they did increase the price, I guess, from like the KT6, but the KT1 through 5 were very well priced, right? But anyways, let's get started off with the Tracciones. And in this colorway, we have a fully translucent outsole, and it's pretty much a circle. There's 2 circles, right? One here in the forefoot and one here in the heel, and it kind of ripples out and kind of intersects here in the middle of the shoe, which looks pretty cool. It's kind of like a water ripple effect. You know, that's kind of like been the theme of Klay Thompson's shoe. Water, the flow of water and stuff like that. But I did play in this just today, just once, and so I guess this is kind of like my first impressions slash first wear review kind of. But the traction is awesome, guys. There's a nice loud high-pitched squeak, which I like. Of course, it has nothing to do with performance, but it has an amazing bite right now. And I took this shoe, I took also the Donny shoe 4, and also another shoe, but I don't remember what I took. And the Klay Thompson, the KT8, was a shoe that I was playing in. Like, I wanted to play in the shoe just because the traction was really nice. It was sticking. The Donny shoe 4, not that well. You know, it was a very dusty and dirty court today. So yeah, the KT8 seems really good on dust as well. And also for durability should be okay. I don't think it's gonna be the best just because the grooves don't seem super like deep, but I guess the rubber is really hard though. The rubber is hard, so I feel like it should be okay, but it's probably not the best option, right? So the traction is seeming really good so far, and I like it a lot. Now moving on to the heel to toe transition. Overall, it feels really smooth as well. Right here in the heel, we have a nice curved shape. Actually, look at that, it comes up, and fully exposed midsole, right? So this is a flash edge, and it's actually pretty soft, not super soft, but it's kind of like a carrier, which we'll get into. And then here in the forefoot, however, we have a pretty nice curved shape, but not anything like super crazy. Like here in the KT7, look at this. Crazy curve shape, you know what I mean? The KT8, it's a little bit more flat, but it's still pretty nice. And then we have a nice bit of forefoot flex, you know, but it has a little bit of rigidness to it, which is good, of course, because of this full length carbon fiber plate. And we can see it's carbon fiber here in the heel, it's exposed. And also for torsional support, we have this plastic piece. Look at this, you know, comes up to cage the cushion as well, and it comes around here into the middle of, or I guess the bottom of the shoe, and also comes around here into the medial side. So we have this plus a carbon fiber, like full length carbon fiber plate. So I feel like, you know, when I was playing, it felt very good. It kind of gave me that like propulsion effect, which I really liked. So heel to toe transition overall felt smooth, and I did like that propulsion kind of feeling as well. Now moving on to the cushioning setup, it's a lot better in my personal opinion than the KT7. So the KT8 has way better core feel, so damn low to the ground, especially here in the forefoot. The heel gets a little bit thicker, like most shoes. There it definitely is a pretty high offset, but definitely not as high as the KT7. The KT7 offset was very high, and also core feel wasn't the best. I mean, it wasn't terrible, but it definitely isn't as good as the KT8, right? Just crazy thick, especially here in the heel for the KT7. So of course, like I mentioned before, we have a flash edge. It says a flash edge here, and also it has N2 foam, right? So N2 foam here is exposed, and we can see the N2 foam exposed here on the bottom of the shoe here in the forefoot. It's kind of like a little window to it, right? I'm guessing it's full length. It's kind of hard to get tech specs of like Chinese shoes, especially. It doesn't give you like full tech specs, right? But I'm guessing it's an A flash edge, kind of like foam carrier, and then a full length N2 foam encased inside of that. And also we have Smart Sand. right? Smart Sam here in the heel for extra impact protection. Super small, and it's like not even like all the way here in the back of the heel. It's more like here, which is kind of weird. But it's this green foam, right? It's this green color. So here in the heel, it feels nice. There's a good amount of compression. It's soft. It doesn't feel like there's a crazy amount of bounce back or rebound back though. So that kind of sucks, but you know, it feels nice here in the heel. And then the forefoot feels more like responsive, you know, and a little bit more stiff, right? For the insole, however, the insole is super nice. It's just like the KT7s where they give us an N2 foam insole as well. So it's not super thick, but it definitely does add to the comfort for the step-in comfort. And then the stroll board is actually pretty stiff. Hopefully that breaks in and gets softer, but I do have my doubts on that. So overall cushioning setup feels great. It feels like a nice overall, like all-around cushioning setup where it has good compression, it's soft, it's overall comfortable. Step-in comfort is pretty damn good with the N2 foam insole. Impact protection feels like it's gonna be good as well. So I do like the overall cushioning setup. I feel like better than the KT7 where it was like too thick and also like very caged, which I didn't like, right? So there's that. Moving on to the materials. So they're calling this speed fiber, and it's pretty much the same as the KT7. It's a speed fiber on here as well. It's a little bit different, or I guess it looks a little bit different, right? So there is an underlying material, and then over that there's like some plastic, right? And it's a clear plastic, but it's still really thin though. No, it's super thin. It conforms to your foot very well. It doesn't feel super stiff or actually like flimsy, because you know, you would think that they would need to glue this down, right? So it's not that bad. It feels actually very nice on foot and minimal. And stays extremely thin here in the midfoot as well. And then for the tongue, we have a nice bit of padding, a super large tongue as well. Look at that, very large tongue. It's a half booty construction tongue as well for a better overall one-to-one fit. Here in the ankle area, we have a very minimal amount of padding as well. So that feels a lot different than the KT7, where the KT7, like here in the toe box, is super minimal, right? But here in the ankle area, there's a lot of padding, especially with like this Achilles pillow. So I definitely do like the more minimal feel of the KT8. But of course, we have this ankle strap thing. So they're calling it like a makeshift ankle support, and I played in it today and it's not very nice, you know. So first of all, we have kind of like some padding here, right? It kind of goes over your ankle bone, which feels nice, but to make it a low, you kind of like flip the bottom here like this, and that's pretty much it. And then you clip this, right? There's these little buttons that you put, and then you just clip it and it turns into a low, just like this, right? And of course, you do have to take the laces out of the eyelet here. That's what I did. And then for the high, you put the laces through here, right? So for ankle support, we'll kind of get into that, but the overall material feels great. You know, I like how minimal it feels, but also it feels very supportive as well. And I'm not really too mad at the quality. You know, it feels pretty damn nice. It doesn't feel super cheap or anything. And also, I mean, this looks kind of cheap though. You know, this kind of like holographic. But anyways, there is a materials there. Moving on to the fit, I went true to size, and holy crap, guys, it's super snug, just like in the KT7. Lengthwise, my toes go pretty much right to the edge of the shoe, which I like, but if you don't like that, then probably go up half a size. And then for the width, it's pretty damn narrow and also very snug here in the toe box, which I like. So I like the overall fit, you know, but if you have a wide foot or you want like a roomier toe box, probably go up half a size or maybe even a full size, because it's a really snug fit. Also, this shoe is super easy to put on because the tongue opens up a lot, but also we have kind of like a very high heel tab, as you guys can see. So super easy to slip on as well and lace up. Moving on to the support and lock down, I also feel like it's gonna be very good, right? So here in the lateral side, in the forefoot, we have the foam coming up, and also we have the Anta logo, and this kind of like stiffens up the material a little bit as well. And also, like I said, the speed fiber material is super supportive. Here in the midfoot, the foam comes up, and also here in the heel, the foam comes up, and there's an internal TPU heel counter. So lateral containment feels like it's gonna be very good. And also for lateral stability, look at that. We have a nice wide base with this sharp outrigger here in the forefoot. So that feels good so far. And then for ankle support, let's get into ankle support. So it doesn't feel like it's gonna be good at all. First of all, the laces go pretty low on this. You know, I feel like it should have gone a little bit higher, so you can really tighten this over your ankle. But also, like, it's just this little kind of like piece. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't restrict ankle movement that much either. So yeah, it's kind of a gimmick in my personal opinion. You know, I already played in it and I was walking around in it as well. So yeah, don't expect great ankle support, especially comparing it to the KT7. And also, like, are they gonna make a low version? Remember the KT7 low? I mean, they always give us a low version in the Klay Thompson shoe line, but this is a makeshift, right? So it's a high and also a low. So I guess they're not gonna give us a low version. And also another thing that they always do in the low version is give us a nice knit material. So hopefully we see a low version, but I don't know what they would do differently, right? So there's that. Moving on to the weight of the shoe, I feel like it's gonna be, it feels like it's gonna be around average weight, maybe like 12, 13 ounces maybe. No, 13.37 ounces. Let's check the other pair. 13.3 ounces. So it's definitely a little bit heavier than average, but it doesn't feel super heavy. It doesn't feel super bulky either. I love how the upper feels as well. It feels super minimal. The KT7 was 14.11 ounces. So they definitely did decrease the weight. The KT7 low was also pretty heavy. Yeah, 14.57 ounces. So they definitely decreased the weight here in the KT8. And so far it feels very responsive because the traction feels really good so far. All right, moving on to the aesthetics. I like it. You know, this colorway is all right. I don't really like this yellow color. It's more of like a washed out yellow greenish color. But the overall colorway looks pretty sick. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, the KT8 is feeling super nice so far. And I feel like it's going to be a very good guard shoe. And also for shooting guards, right? So yeah, minimal feel, super supportive, especially for the materials. Cushion feels very nice overall, like all around. Traction is phenomenal so far too. So it's feeling really, really good so far. There's not really one thing that I don't like about this shoe so far, right? So anyways, the KT8, I'm super excited about, and I can't wait to play in it more. But that about concludes my first impressions look on the KT8. Again, if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.